So um, the real reason men, um, men get, you know, deemed or called problematic, um, is just simple. It's you not going. Um, you're not accepting the things that you once accepted. You choosing you. Um, you're getting over um the things you were once under. Um, women women don't want women don't want guys to become aware of the truth. Men becoming aware, um, men understanding what it truly is out here. Um, it's kind of like it's kind of like if people started to see things for what they are within America, within our government, within if people started to take their power back or understand that we don't need certain leaderships, we don't need certain people to tell us how to live our lives, to tell us the do's and don'ts. I feel like us as humans, we have enough experience to do whatever it is we need to do as people, as humans. It's kind of like that with men and women. Men are at the bottom of the bottom based off of not having self control uh, over their desires and uh, not having self control over temptation and lust. And so, a man like me would be considered problematic. I would be considered a narcissist. Um, I would be considered insensitive, delusional, um, crazy, uh, whatever you could think of. The list goes on. But those are the reasons why I wear all of those. I would that those are the reasons why a man like me or men like me would be considered all of those things. Um, it's a fear that a lot of women have that it's a fear that a lot of women have in realizing that men are waking up. Men are starting to see it for what it is. Because like I said, men are at the bottom. Men are all the way at the bottom. And one thing I noticed, just like American people, just like people that um, you know, just like people that was programmed into uh the system that the people with the power, the system that they created, when you fuck with the programming, when you tell people the truth, when you explain to people what it really is or how it really is, it's almost like they go at you. It's almost like they go at you. You know what I mean? You tell somebody, you get into religion, you get into politics, it's almost like they'll turn on you. They'll snap out. They'll start going crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's like wearing garlic around a vampire or some shit. You know what I mean? The shit you see on the movies and TV shows, like it's some shit like that. Like you disrupting a programming. I think that's like a good example of it. Like when you when you get to a certain level as a man, and you start to see things for what they truly are, or you start to speak on the truths, not the opinions, but you start to speak on the truths of things, or you start to shine a light, um, you start to become a mirror to people, and they have to deal with or realize who they truly are. It's bothersome. You know what I mean? It's painful. Um, and men are men are starting to gain clarity in what all of this is, what all of this has been for years. I've had people tell me I need to heal, not knowing that I'm doing the work. I've came from a rough patch. I've came from um that dark side. I've came from um I've came from just being, you know, in a dark place. Um and I've faced it. You know what I mean? I've isolated. I've went into solitude. You know, um a journey is a journey. It's never ending. I'm still on my journey, but I'm healing, and I've been healing for some time now. So I'm not bitter about anything. I'm not um I don't feel away. I don't hate all women or no shit like that. But what people don't realize is along your healing journey, along um your self-love journey, um along your journey in general, as you're healing as a man, you gain clarity, and you don't even know where it come from, but you start to see shit for what it really is. You start to see shit for what it's always been. And that's when you become narcissistic. That's when you become bitter and unhealed and problematic. You become all of these things because you kind of like blowing up the spot. You kind of fucking it up for others, meaning women. You kind of fucking it up. You fucking up their shit. They don't want these type of messages, and they don't want this to travel. They don't want other men to awaken. They don't want other men to realize what's going on and what's always been going on. It's uncomfortable for women. Um, they're so used to dealing with a certain kind of guy, the guy that's asleep, the guy that's a simp, the guy that is willing to do any and everything for her because of the power she possesses. Like I said, it's like that American thing, bro. We hate uncomfortability. We hate unfamiliarity. We hate not being comfortable, not being familiar. And when that's taken away from us, when change is on the horizon, people panic. People don't understand what's going on, so they say anything. They shame it. They hate it. They badmouth it. Even with Trump, like, you don't know what the fuck this nigga gonna do. All you hear is tariffs and increase and inflation and da 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 da. If he was to turn this shit completely around, all of the people that panicked and fucking threw smut on his name, 2026, 2027, they'd be sucking his dick. Oh my God, Trump is the best thing that happened to America. So it's like people hate what they don't understand. People fear what they don't understand. A lot of women don't understand a man on his purpose. A lot of women, modern women, don't understand a man that is healed, that has went through the fire and came out on the other side. A lot of women don't understand that man. So they bash him. He's problematic. He's a narcissist. He's fucking crazy. He's delusional. Da da da. Same shit they did to the OG, rest his soul, Kevin Samuels. They hated that man, but he was fair. He was telling the truth. He was telling the truth. He was exposing. He was exposed. He was a mirror. He was shining light. And I just feel like I'm just I'm just something for a lot of women that may not be identifiable. You know what I mean? Because they're so used to a guy doing any and everything, um, worshiping them. They're not used to men talking like this. They're not used to men having pride, having morals and principles. It's not all about looks. Is your mind right? Is your spirit right? You know what I mean? Who are you outside of looks and apparel and all of that kind of shit, cars, houses? Um, it's funny. Um, cause you even got like simp queens, they have guard dogs. That's what I'm gonna call you simp niggas. Y'all are guard dogs. And it's almost like the guard dogs, they want to sick you, they want to bite you because you talking about they simp queens. You talking about, they dominate, they dominatrix, the woman that has control over their minds, um, you know, has control over their nature, has control over the way they think. You know, the women or the woman, today's woman who they lust after, who they'll do anything for. I had guys in my comments that should be on this side instead of that side. They don't care about you on that side, you fucking dickhead. They don't care about you over there. They're using you. You know what I mean? They're using you. They're draining you. Literally draining you. Every chance they get, you should be over this side. I don't give a fuck what side you want, to be honest, but if any side you had to pick from or choose from, you should be on the side of a man that is as healing and that's trying to reach back and pull other brothers out the mud, enlighten other brothers because they need it. They've been down for too long. They need it. You know, the programming is so strong. It has like the system, the program, it has like a fungus. It's like a fungus over the eyes of man. It's like a fungus, a thick fungus over the eyes of the man that even, you know, it's so powerful that even if they can't see it, they can hear it, right? They can hear it, but it's so powerful. I won't even say that. I'll say it is a fungus over the eyes of the man, right? To where though they just can't see it. But even some of the guys that might not be that far gone and they can see and understand what's being said, right? The information, they can't receive it. It's like a blockage. You know what I mean? Like you got some guys that's just so far gone. That's what I would say. They got like a fucking fungus over their eyes. They can't see shit. But you got some guys that can still hear, right? Just because you blind don't mean you can't hear. You might be deaf, but you can see. You know what I mean? But whatever. What I'm trying to explain is like you got some guys that can see and hear, right? And can receive the information, but the program and the system is so strong. It's almost like they know that it's good for their it's good information, it's positive information, it's something to help them. They still won't take it. Like they simped out that much. And so you even got guys that'll just be like, no, nigga, you tripping. Da 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 da. We ain't listening to you and da da da, like just all types of shit. And then like I said, you got the women that's just looking at guys like me and other guys that's trying to get this information across because we went through it. We healed from it. We went through it. You know what I'm saying? And we healed from it. No, not everyone. Obviously, you stupid motherfucker. Every woman ain't a bad woman. You know what I'm saying? But that's where I say it's a 1%. People hear 1%, they like, damn, you really only think it's that many women? How many people do you think is in 1% if it's 8 billion plus people on the planet? That's a lot of people. Yes, I stand by that 1% because even if it's 500,000, 400,000, that's a lot of fucking women. But the other 99% is shit. That sounds fair to me. That sounds about right to me. We is majority. But yeah, man, like it's just it's wild out here, man. Like it really is. And you get to see when you do videos or when you know, whatever you expressing yourself, you might be in the comments on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. If it's one of those topics with men versus women, you know, whatever, women bashing men, men bashing women, you get to see the way people think. And you see some of these comments on these videos, you get to see the way people think and how strong the programming truly is. For men, it's crazy. But for women as well, they don't know how to read you. They don't know how to understand you. They can't process you within the first 5 seconds because your lust isn't up. You have no lust. You're not doing the everyday typical shit that the other niggas is doing. So, like I said, when it's like not familiar, when it's something that a woman can't understand, a person can't understand, if they don't understand it, they usually like hate it. They usually like they don't fuck with it because it's like it's not identifiable. I think that's what a lot of women, that's why they are the way they are, why they are the way they are towards men like me, men like that's in tune, that understand the game and that accepts the game. You know what I'm saying? But shit, I am a guy. I have to have a little bit of biasness. I want the bros to wake up. I want guys to take back their power. I want more men to think like this. And it's not listen, it ain't no knock on the woman. It ain't like I'm trying to build an army of men to go against women. No, I'm trying to make it a fair game. I'm trying to make it to where though men can fight fairly. Men can have um a fighting chance. You know what I mean? Cause listen, if we all being trill, if we all being 100, this shit'll run a lot smoother. I ain't trying to change the world or no shit like that. But as a man, as a human being that has to go out into society, and I have to see society through my phone, whatever, you know, in real time, in real life, it's disgusting. It's disgusting to where we have, to where this shit has gotten to. It is disgusting. And I do this shit with pride because I was once one of them niggas. Never to the highest of the high on no simp level, but I was one of those guys that was mistreated by women, or handled a certain way. Nobody's exempt. You could be the most pretty boyest of the world, got the best car, the biggest house, the most money. You're going to get handled one time or another a certain kind of way by a woman because of the way this shit, the way this shit is. You know what I mean? With their heads being so big, and the guys are feeding their egos for nothing. You got women out here that don't even deserve to have a fucking ego. You got women out here that don't even deserve to have fucking a list, or a list of expectations. You see what I'm saying? That's when you know it's getting out of control, bro. We gotta recenter this shit. This shit is getting out of control. And again, nobody's exempt from being treated a certain kind of way, especially now. You got the pop the balloon culture, you got all types of things. And it's almost like sooner or later men won't even be fucking dating women. Women won't be dating men. It's such a hate. It's such a misunderstanding between the two. Nobody fucks with nobody. It's all opportunity. It's all, what can you do for me? Do we not realize that on a serious note, outside of all of the bullshit and the shits and giggles, like, we getting to a point where men not even gonna like women, women not even gonna like men. It's gonna be too out of reach for both sides. We need to get it back to where as though it's realistic. Everybody, it's okay to be regular. Even like I said, but the women are out of control, bro. And yes, it's from the men, it's their fault, it's the simps and all of that shit. But regardless, the facts remain the facts remain. Women are out of control. How they think, how they treat guys. That's why I said a guy like me, or a similar guy to how I am and how I think now, going through my healing journey and understanding and gaining clarity, I'm problematic because I'm blowing up the spot. I'm not falling in line, just like with America. I'm asking questions. I'm rebelling. I'm blowing up the spot. Somebody like me, I'm not good for business. Because he going to ask questions. He going to say no. He going to ask why. Same shit with women. What's wrong with that? Y'all want them niggas that ain't asking questions. They so hypnotized over the ass and the titties, they forgot to ask the questions that they came into with the ask. They didn't got hit. They didn't got sidetracked. I'm not one of them niggas. I see past all that. And like I said, there's no disrespect. But with most women, after we get past phase one, which is the apparel, the look, and we might, go to phase two, that might be the fuck. By the time we get to phase 3 and 4, it's nothing there. So I'm just simply, it's nothing complicated. It's simple. I see past all that. I know where it's about to go. And a lot of women get mad, or they feel like you targeting them, or you bashing them, when you just simply speak on shit like that. Like, where are we going after this? It's nothing there. You have nothing to offer me. Where you got a man, he taking care of the woman, he paying the bills, he making sure, you know what I mean? So it's like, I just think we just need to, I don't know, recenter. This shit need to realign. We need to do something, you know what I mean? Because this shit, like I said, it's getting out of control, man. And it don't need to be men versus women. You know what I'm saying? But calling a spade, both sides been doing, been doing some shit, you know what I mean? And some shit that, been in the dark, and it's just coming to the light. Men being exposed as well. But it's like, women, the gig is up. The gig is up. You know what I mean? And it's light being shined on that. You know what I mean? And it need to be. Men need to wake up and take back their power.